Okay then guys, so the aim of this video was to display like a really low budget casting setup. I say really low because a lot of people, when they come to bait casters and sort of light lure fishing, would turn to say BFS, which seems to be quite a big craze at the minute, but you're looking at nearly £1,000 a setup, which is a bit mad. So my thinking for this setup was, I had a little bit of cash to play with, so I thought I'd try and, you know, phase out my spinning rod and try fishing like specimen, like perch lures, basically anything 3 to 4 inches in size, and use it on a bait caster, because I really like using jerk baits and you know, the casting rods for the larger pike lures. So I thought I could do this for under 40 quid. So yeah, it started off with, well, I had a few issues really, to be fair. I tried ordering 2 different rods. One of them came and they picked the wrong one. Bear in mind these have come from China to try and make it as cheap as possible. So originally I just wanted to drop £20 on one. So they ended up spending a spinning rod instead of a casting rod, and there was no chance of me sending it back. I think the rod cost about 12 quid in total. And then I was like, right, let's try again. So I ordered a different rod and that come broken. So that was 2 months of waiting for basically nothing. But the reel cost me £8 off of wish.com. I put a little screenshot up here of the reel, and yeah, it's actually quite nice. I think it's a 7:1 ratio. I can't remember where I put it, but it's got, I think, like 9 ball bearings or something. Honestly, it feels like you're winding in air. So then rod wise, I ended up ordering one from the UK, which was a bit more expensive, and it was I think it was £28.99, which is why it's below £40. So yeah, I think it worked out quite well, because I'm fishing the lures that I really wanted to, which are the soft baits with, you know, 4 to 6 gram like chub weights or jig heads, and hopefully it turns out quite well and a good watching experience. It's a on drop. Yes, pike. That was a chub. Big chub. Big chub. That was on the drop. Just as I turned camera on, he slammed it. Alright, so I've just christened me budget light casting setup on a nice chub. It literally took it on the drop. There's a bit of water flowing out the edge, so a bit like how I mentioned in my last micro video, sometimes it's just about finding a bit of flowing water on canal to get a fish, well, to get a bite. In this case there was a boat coming through and I thought I'd make the most of it before it come through and disturbed it. Rushed up here, dropped my jig in, and straight away whack from this little chub. And I'm quite impressed with that. The rod handled it lovely, and he's not very happy, so we'll get a quick snapshot and we'll chuck him back. Okay then guys, so a couple of things I want to add is when you're buying really cheap tackle, you got to take into account that potentially it might not last 2 minutes, it could last forever. So just keep that in mind, because really this was just all for fun and games. So so far I've used it a whole day now. It's the first proper time out of it. I used it 45 minutes before just to, you know, try and start this video, but it was one of them days where nothing went right. There's so much crap floating around in the water, and there must have been about 4 boats come through. 4 boats, and I was like, nah, stuff it, I'm going home. So yeah, I've used it a day and absolutely nothing wrong with it yet. So a little tip for trying to find a nice live bait caster is what I do, I flick through pretty much everything on the page on Wish. I just put in bait caster and scroll through them, and I just kept checking out each different lure. At first I was looking for like a really shallow spool, but all of them just look the same. But then I had a thought, I was like, right, let's look for the one that's rated with the lowest breaking strain line I could really find. And like, I must have spent an hour looking through them all and reading them. I ended up just picking this one, which you've seen in the screenshot. It weren't £8 because I got it, well, it was £8 because I got it in a sale, but it works out about £16–17 depending on which sort of shop you buy it from on there. Because basically, Wish is just like eBay but with like Chinese companies. So yeah, I just thought I'd pull out there as like just a word of warning. But this is the first time I bought a reel off of there, and I'm quite satisfied with it.
Got a bloody snake. Look at that, don't get rid of them in the black country. Never met it, but it's one on crankbait. I'm just trolling it. And the camera was on charging back. And there's a little jackpike. Beautiful little fish. Absolutely walloped it. He's a good scrap as well. Look at gnashes on him. I slammed it. Not a bad one either. Where'd I put my net? Where did I put my net? Ah, it's over there. Absolutely bellied it. Yes. For a bite, Jesus Christ. Been really hard on the canal recently. I don't know if it's down to all the crap bits that have been washed in from a couple of weeks of rain, or the sheer amount of boat traffic increase that we've had over the last sort of 2 weeks. But yeah, we lost a perch early on. We just had that one down there that was we would have tried to have it, but obviously I was too eager to take it out of water. And then bang, straight with a little jack pike. Absolutely walloped it. Ace. I get a big camera out, even though it's absolutely slashing it down now. Okay, so we've got a feisty little wiry jack. I'm going to have to hold him close to the camera so you can see it. He's hang on. He's a very spawned out long little fish. Good for it was a little bit. Well, I'm more than happy to catch anything at the minute, so there he is. A little skinny one. See my lure in his mouth there. It's one of my favourite ones from this year. He's done me all my big perch off of this canal. Even though it's been hard this winter, I've done a few fish and that's all I'm bothered about. There's a bit of his mouth gone inside. I don't know how to get that out. So yeah, we'll get him chucked back. I don't know what's going on there. It's like the scissor bit of its mouth is inside of its jaw. There we go. It's where it's just overflexed itself trying to get that lure in. So yeah, right, it's been out a lot long enough. We'll chuck him back. Okay then guys, so what I'm going to do now is, now that rain stopped a little bit, is I'm going to take my soft plastic off and see what sort of hard baits I can throw with it. So when I say hard baits, I mean crankbaits. I know there's quite a lot of people out there that prefer crankbaits over slow jigging soft baits. So I've got my little box there. I'm going to maybe select 3 of all different sizes and weights, and we'll see how far I can chuck them. So I'm going to start with this one. In fact, I'll line them up and then I'll show you what I've got. So roughly between 5 and about 9 grams. So we're covering like a nice little range of lures here. I need a really small one there. So it is about 3 gram. I kind of have an idea of what I can and can't throw on it, but just for the sake of it, I'm just going to pick a few and we're going to see what we can do. So I'll clip a few on and we'll see. Our target is that side. I'm just going to aim for the far bank. So to start with, we'll go with the big one, which is a Strike Pro perch crank. It's just a really nice lure to use, and you feel it down your rod working. I say that, but on my spinning setup that I use, that one's a really nice one. Really nice, really good rattle on it. I'm just hoping you can see over there. So threw it off to the side a little bit. It's fairly light for the rod. It's probably the biggest one I got, probably around 7 to 8 grams. That wasn't too bad. Let's get to the other side anyway. Give it one more go. Yeah, it's probably a comfortable one to use. I found we're using the soft baits. The minimum, like really comfortable minimum, and that's including the jig head and the lure itself, is about 7 grams in total. But 8 grams and over is like the Goldilocks zone. So we've got this one here. It's I think it's about 5 grams. The other one was, like I said, between 8 and 10. So this one's just a minnow style bait. That one's definitely too light. One of my favourite cranks as well, so it's good on the spinning rod. It's sort of got some accuracy on it. It's casting to the other bank, which is a good, I don't know how far that is, probably about 40 foot across. Just getting over there, you can probably troll it down the edges quite fine. Now it's tangled up now. I don't need to do any more casting with that, I can already tell you that's a little bit too light. So going off that, I think the smaller one's probably 1 gram lighter, but it's a different shape. It's like a crayfish shape, so it's quite round and a bit more aerodynamic. So this one could outperform that last one by a long shot, but we'll see. It's very light, you can only just feel it on the rod. Yeah, it casts about the same as the last one, but it's way smaller. But the good thing about it is I can feel everything down the rod. Yeah, it's way too light. So, good on crankbaits, you need something between 7 and 10 grams with this setup, which is plenty small enough. Because all I was thinking was, I like using bait casters and jerkbait rods, and casting rods rather. So I want something that, for like canal fishing and on little rivers, a proper bird nest in it now. I want a casting rod that I can use my specimen perch lures, that I can replace with spinning rod and just have some fun with a casting rod. So knowing this, I know I can use all my soft plastics that are between 3 and 4 inch. No problem at all. Crankbait. So I've just got my tail bit off here, so by a pike, so see what happens. Come on. Where you at? There it is. Go. I think it's a fish. It is a fish. Little Jackie. Good little scrap out of it. Is that too bad? Yeah. Bloody ducks. I've got a little tip if you can't catch fish. Just go home. See ya.